everybody, what's going on? I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, and this is a celestial wisdom update with some energetic offerings as well as astrological offerings. And I am starting this at the end of August. So 26th of August, I'm going to go all the way through probably the 7th of September. Why? Because we are in eclipse season for Virgo Pisces. And our full moon that comes up on the 7th is a full moon eclipse. So we are going to already be experiencing some of that energy as it builds and builds and builds to be released at this full moon time. So, excuse me, start paying attention, excuse me, to the activities and the energies that are very much themed here with us being in Virgo season. The sun is now in Virgo. Excuse me, I gotta clear my throat. And so we are going to be focused on ways that we can be of service, that there can be maybe a analyzing of what works, what doesn't work. There's a lot of organization and decluttering that often happens during Virgo season. And with the eclipses, remember, we haven't had the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo in 18 years or so. So we are looking at a cyclical movement here from the last 18 years. Think of a theme. I know I'm stretching your mindset, your memories a bit. Mine too. What was happening 18 years ago? Now, we did have North Node in Virgo, South Node in Pisces 9 years ago. So we're going to add that theme and that layer also to what is happening for us now. Again, we're not the same people. We're not under the same circumstances that we once were. We're certainly not the same age. And we've had multiple experiences, probably lifetime of experiences in the last 18 to 9 years ago as well. So it's a theme that shows up. And when we're looking at it, from the Pisces Virgo standpoint, we're looking at deep healing. We're looking at trusting our intuitive nature more, our psychic nature more. And we're also letting our dreams and perfume our waking state, right? Maybe there's an invitation here, and we're going to start thinking about that over the next couple of weeks, leading this full moon of where do I need more time out, more self-care, more respite? How do I organize my daily life, my routines, how do I set up rituals that support me in having that self-care, that support me in having some time out that I need? I would imagine, especially those of you who are extremely sensitive, high sensitives like myself, that you're going to need to carve out regular space to unplug and recharge, because you're absorbing so much energy from people and places and things that it's like a sponge. You need a place to wring that out. The other thing I would say is you're probably going to be on empathic overload, empathy overload. So when you receive news about someone going through a struggle, or you're walking down the street and you see somebody who is in need, you may feel this extreme emotion around it. There may be an emotional extremity that occurs where you're not just feeling sad, maybe you're just feeling despair, right? It could be something like that. So it's an invitation to grab your toolkit because you have it. That's why we practice the skills that we have, and pull out the one that may serve you. I use Tonglen a lot during this time. Self-forgiveness also a lot during this time. Meditation, grounding, all very, very strong skills that support the empathic overload that I can get into at times. Many of you may experience a lot of emotional overload as well. Or that overwhelm, right? If you're feeling overwhelmed, take a moment to take a deep breath, ground, meaning come back to what anchors you. What is it that helps you feel the most stable? Is it putting a plan together? Is it walking in nature? Is it showering? Is it getting by the water? Whatever it is that lets you remove all distractions for a moment, get back in the present moment, And then ask yourself, what's most important to me right now? And you don't have to do, let's say you have 10 things that seem important, pick one. What's important in this moment? And then tackle the next one. So come back to that beautiful Virgo energy that says, one thing at a time. Is this useful? Is it not? Right? Is this the best use of my time, money, energy, resources, that sort of thing? Now, the other thing that we're going to experience over the next couple of weeks, we have Venus now moving from the sign of Cancer that occurred last weekend. Now or actually it was yesterday morning. Boy, my time is, anyways, Monday. But we were feeling the end of Venus in Cancer over the weekend, now into the sign of Leo. And so when Venus was in Cancer, there was probably a lot of emotional security that was needed and finding comfort in familiar routines and surroundings and things like that. And so now we have Venus in Leo. So what may be active for us, especially because with this being a fire sign, and we have Saturn in Aries, we have Chiron also in Aries, Venus is going to be making, and Neptune in Aries, Venus is going to be making aspects, trine and sextile aspects to these planets. So there's going to, especially with Saturn involved, there may be a need for some real demonstration of commitment here. And we're probably looking for ways that we can be more generous and more passionate in our relationships, and maybe the things that we value, right? And so what we may find is that during this time, we're going to spend money in a very flamboyant way on the people that we genuinely care for, to let them know, hey, I'm fully invested in you. I'm fully invested in this relationship. Or we may be looking for that from our beloveds. And if we're not getting it, then it can create that emotional distress, right? Because we're going, oh my gosh, something's missing. They don't love me. They're not committed. They're not giving me something amazing. And I need them to show me and show the world all that I mean to them, right? So we are going to be ping-ponging, I'm sure, back and forth for some of that. Our self-esteem is usually tied to recognition and applause that we get from other people. So that also could be a trigger point if we're not being given what we may think is the respect or feeling appreciated by others. There's a lot of outward validation that tends to get activated when Venus is in Leo. So do look at if the shadow side shows up, where it's like, nobody's recognized me, I feel invisible, nobody appreciates me, I'm gonna go eat worms. If that shows up, come back to the intrinsic or the inner voice that says, I matter because I have breath. How do I manifest my gifts in the world in a way that makes me unique and of great benefit? And why am I doing what I'm doing anyways? Come back to that. Why am I doing this? Am I doing it for the outward recognition? Because if that's the case, then yeah, sometimes the outward does fail us. It does disappoint us. So come back to the inner. Do I do it because I love it? Because it brings me energy, it brings me joy, those kinds of things. Now, also another big move that's going to be happening in the next week is Mercury is going to move into the sign of Virgo. Now, Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. So think of it, Mercury's coming home. Now, when it's in the sign of Virgo, remember, Mercury is about communication and intellect and analysis. And so when it moves into Virgo, our minds, the way we process information, or maybe the way we communicate, may have more succinctness to it. It may be more meticulous and discerning. And so we're looking for ways that that we have the ability to process and sort through a vast amount of data and then disseminate it in a very careful, thoughtful place. That's why people with a lot of Virgo in their charts, or and Mercury in Virgo, have a tendency to be great teachers, people who can give that information in a way that is clear and concise and direct, so that people can understand, individuals can understand it. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of you who are watching this are teachers, number one. Number two, maybe you're trying to figure out what to do next in life, and teaching is a calling for you, or you're putting together, you suddenly feel inspired to put together a program or I'm trying to think of the words. I'm having a moment. But you're trying to put together a class. That was duh. Something a subject that allows others to benefit from information that you've done research on, or you've taken a systematic approach. Fields like science, medicine, accounting, technical writing, maybe some content. Maybe you're teaching other people how to do these sorts of things. So the other shadow side with Mercury in Virgo is that there can be some analysis paralysis. There can be excessive worry about details. It's great to be able to look at all the various angles, but you can also fall into criticism or indecision because you have too much information. So watch for that. And if you get caught in that, this is where that full moon eclipse energy can help you. Is that, as I mentioned before, you're taking yourself into the realm of Pisces, which is the everything. And it's like, oh, all possibilities here. I have so many options. And then Virgo says, wait, what options are worth it? What aren't? Is this useful? Well, if you go to the shadow side and you get caught in that analysis paralysis, and you don't make a decision at all. So I say, come back to what is it that grounds you? What is it that brings you in the present moment? And then I always love the question, what experience am I trying to create next for myself? And become the artist, become the painter, or the person the visionary who says, you know what, I feel like today I want to paint this picture. And here, what colors do I have? What kind of experience do I want to create here? And play with it. Remember, it's a grand experiment, right? Life is a grand experiment. Enjoy it. And just add some ingredients. Be playful. That's another invitation, especially with Venus and Leo here. And don't forget, Mars is in Libra. And so Venus and Mars are going to make a sextile to each other, which is an aspect that creates opportunities. And so there can be opportunities through collaboration, opportunities through our relationships, that if you get stuck in that analysis paralysis, pull someone else in that you can bounce that idea off of, and you can talk through it, and you can, play together. That's another thing. So if I had to give you a big theme for the next week or so, one, of course, is watch for the empathy overload, the emotional overload. Watch for needing external validation on a regular basis to feel good about yourself. Those are some of the shadows. But the positives are that your acts of generosity and the way in which you express yourself and how you express your love to your beloveds and all that should be fun. Take a little risk, have a little lightheartedness to it. And remember, don't take it too seriously. You've heard me say this. One of my yoga instructors says, take your practice seriously, not yourself. So have fun with whatever you're doing and just laugh about it. If it works, great, share more of it. If it doesn't work, adjust. All right, you guys, I hope this helps. Please come find me at one2listen and jamie.com. And if you need me, I'm here. Like, subscribe, share, comment on these videos. And I look forward to hearing how it all goes. Have a wonderful week or so.